Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. The reason you see me.
Gets 10 years in prison for shooting and injuring Megan Thee Stallion. Lanez was convicted of 3 felonies in the case back in December. The judge said it was, quote, difficult to reconcile the kind person and good father many described Lanez as being with the man who fired the gun at Megan. Megan testified that Lanez fired the gun at her feet and shouted for her to dance as she walked away from an SUV. This was back in July of 2020. The LA County DA's office held a news conference after today's sentencing. DA George Gascon read a statement from Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete.
Fortunately.
Wow, guys. As you see, man, Tory Lanez has been stabbed and rushed to the hospital. And I'm recapping, like, okay, not only did he had this situation where they sentenced him for 10 years, and now, you know, he's trying to live it down. OG, you there?
Man, that's kind of deep for a celebrity to be in prison in California. He's up in Delano State Prison up in Kern County. So they rushed him to the hospital in Bakersfield, California. So they had to hit him pretty bad. And this right now, I haven't confirmed whether it was another black did it or with the Mexican. The Mexican population is real tough out here. And I don't see him being in altercations like that. It's really out of character for a celebrity unless you got one of them pedophile beefs or a child molestation or something to get involved where you severely get stabbed.
Well, let me ask you this, OG. Is this a federal or a state charge?
He got convicted in the state court in California. He's in a state prison. He's in the belly of the beast. He ain't in the feds with no carpet floors. These are new prisons. Delano, Wasco, those prisons are, I guess they've been up the last 15, 20 years, but that's new compared to this one of the newer prisons in California.
What do you say to people out saying now that Megan Thee Stallion team allegedly is pretty much out to get him, and it may be some stuff that they, you know, like there's some hidden agenda to where everybody trying to take Tory Lanez out no matter what, because she just sued him again for sending threats out and allegedly some stuff he was doing from inside to out that she felt like was discrediting to who she is, and she acted as if she was in fear. So at the end of the day, how far-fetched is it for people to think that she would have something to do with it, or her team, or anybody she knows?
I didn't even know that part, that she had recently said that he had sent threats out.
Yeah, that happened.
Okay, yeah, because the last time she was kind of like acting like she had forgiven him and this and that. But you can send them wolf tickets out, and I'm not saying that they couldn't. I was just discussing with my crime partner just the other day. We were just talking about we had a case out here called the skyscraper burglars, right?
Okay.
The pygmies, and they went out and robbed this Western bar out in Long Beach, California, right?
Right.
And when they robbed the bar out in Long Beach, the one out of Watson, the boy's name is Lil Lou, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lil Lou, as they doing the robbery, he was getting ready to rape this little Mexican worker, right? And the owner of the bar seen him and told him, "Don't rape her, take me." And this white lady had sex, but the lady was the wife of a Compton judge called Judge Leahy, right?
Okay.
So when Lil Lou went to court, and for the rape, his attorney tell him, no, he didn't actually rape her. This is what happened. And the lady came to court and said, yeah, you know, and I hadn't had an orgasm in 20 years. This is a judge's wife defending this guy, right? And so Lil Lou went to prison in 1982. We in San Quentin, allegedly Judge Leahy gave the Mexican mafia $10,000 and they killed Little Lou.
Wow. So I guess it can get crazy.
You can get, for a box of cigarettes, you can get it done, but I didn't think it was that serious. So something happened, and I don't see him just making somebody mad. People are desperate right now for $1,000 in prison. Really, $500-$600, you can't get it, bro.
Wow. And when you look at Tory Lanez and you look at him being taken, is this a normal practice for him to be taken to a civilian hospital from prison?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's serious. When they take you to an outside hospital, the wounds are so severe that they can't have because they don't have a 24-hour staff doctor in most prisons. Major prisons, San Quentin used to have a doctor because there's so many stabbings in San Quentin, they had to keep a surgeon there, right?
Right.
But today, the medical staff consists of a nurse, and sometimes they have a nurse practitioner. But if the stab wounds are so severe that they can't handle it right then, they'll ship him out to the outside hospital. So he had to be hit a couple of times where he was leaking or had a lot of times that my weapon of choice was a file or an ice pick, right?
Okay.
Because with that, you can stab a person 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times, and it just looks superficial because after 6 inches, it starts hitting the internal body parts, right?
Okay.
So you can hit a person with an ice pick 5 or 6 times, and it looks like it's just superficial wounds, but you done already hit the lung, and he's bleeding from inside.
Wow. Wow.
So when you have internal bleeding, if they got stab wounds, and when you got a knife in prison, is like a dude using a 44 mag. All half that kills you is hearing the sound, right?
Yeah.
The biggest assassin weapon on the street is a 22. You don't even hear it coming.
Yeah, and it travels in your body.
And it travels in your body. So when you got these dudes with these 8-inch knives, long as you leaking, you got action. But when you do internal bleeding, so a lot of times, if they have stab wounds and you're not bleeding proficiently outside, they'll have to take you to a outside hospital to take x-rays because they don't have the facilities in the prison.
Wow. And this guy, man, like I said, they're saying he's in stable condition, but he definitely a guy who, when you look at him, he's not, I think he's like 5'1", maybe 5'2", and I'm stretching it, but he's a little bitty guy, but he's been working out. They've got pictures now showing he's been buffing up a little bit. He's getting a little weight on him, so he's trying to figure it out, man, but just being high profile like he is, I don't think it's going to be an easy win for him. And I said earlier, he needs to really mind his own business. See, when you're in a place like that, you get to talking and being too friendly and trying to be and it puts the spotlight on you. When you doing time, you try to be conservative and you try to make sure whatever coming towards you, you got to be pretty much aware of the fact it could be something to kill you. So you don't want to be in there he and ha playing dominoes, acting like this is a camp for boys. No, this is prison, man.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing with blacks and our egos, right? That we, like I said, he demanded to be in general population. He should have went to PC and his life would have been beautiful. Well, they don't call it protected custody anymore. They call it SNY. What is SNY? Sensitive needs.
Yeah.
SNY. It's no longer protected custody. It's sensitive needs. And going to jail, I got stabbed 3 times in prison just being out there in the way, right?
Yeah.
But again, in San Quentin, I learned a valuable lesson of being scared in prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
This white guy, he had came to prison, and this black guy ends up telling him that in juvenile hall, the boy was a homosexual, but the boy ends up as a grown man. He's an Aryan Brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
So he tells, bro, man, we was kids then, man. And so the dude is from up north in Oakland. He's running his mouth. Everything in San Quentin at that time was killers. Homosexuals, everybody was a killer at that time. Ain't no softies. So the boy kept on, no, you a sissy, this and that. Turns around, the dude go to the chow hall, white boy working in the chow hall, bruh get at him running his mouth. We come out the yard one day, everybody is tensions on the yard. They go over to the white boys, they tell them it's a white on white thing. That's why I don't play games of chance. Now the same one been talking this stuff about this white boy is teaching this other guy on the yard, in the prison yard, how to play chess. He been over on the ground. The white boy walks by him 2 times he walks by him 2 times. And when the third time, he hits him in the chest with an 8-inch knife.
Wow.
And lays on top of him and stabs him about 40 times, kills him dead, right?
Wow.
Didn't even know it was coming, but he had already Louis the Lipton this white boy. And my point is this. When they went to the white boy's cell, he had already packed up all his stuff in his cell, right? And left a note and said to his family, he's being sexually molested, being abused in prison, and he don't know how he'll live through the day. But he didn't already sized up. And you know what they did? He killed this bro. He didn't do a year in the hole. They sent him to Vacaville and he went home in 5 years.
Wow.
Because he expressed to the prison that he was scared for his life. And every time I do something, I'll go to the hole because I'm scared for my life.
So he had pre-planned it perfectly.
Pre-planned. And so we go to some, oh man, oh I didn't do this. It's all everybody know you. You say you scared. I can't put, man, do you know what they do in the hole in prison?
What they do?
If you come to visit, now the general population, they got a whole line that you got to come visit, right?
Right.
When you're in the hole, when you're in social adjustment, when you're in MCU or you're in administrative segregation, when I get a visit, you come to the front of the line, right?
Right.
You don't have to, your visits don't have to wait. They come to the front of the line, and if you go in at 9 o'clock, you don't have to leave the visiting room until 3 o'clock. Everybody else got 1 hour visits, right?
Wow. So it's better being safe.
Now I was standing up in San Quentin one day, standing in the canteen, me and my partner standing around. We sitting there, I got my head on the swivel. I thought I got too comfortable, right? White boy named Carver ran up on the back of me and stuck a knife in my back, bro. I felt the energy, like 50,000 pounds of electricity hit me. And the only reason I didn't die, I wouldn't let, he left it and ran, right?
Yeah.
But now, let's go back to the adjustment center and the hole and this and that. When you're in the hole, you get a canteen list, and you fill out your canteen list, and they bring it to you every month. Right? You ain't got to go stand and put your life in jeopardy.
Wow. See, so that's better.
When you're in the hole, they bring your breakfast to you every morning, right?
Right.
Sit it on the tray. You eat up in your cell. You get extra, so you go to your own yard and exercise.
Wow.
Any logical man, that's where you need. Tory Lanez needed to be in SNY.
So he'd be smarter to be in SNY.
Go, you take your ass to SNY, bro.
OG is saying Tory needs to go to SNY, guys, immediately. That is PC. That's the new term for PC. After he come right back, he need to go to SNY. Don't pass go. Go straight to SNY when he gets out the hospital. Because it's not a bad thing, according to its privileges to it, is the way OG done explained it to me. In the California system.
The California system, that's the way your life will be. You will have more control in your life in SNY.
Wow. Man, so Tory Lanez, like I said, guys, get in the comments. Let us know if you seeing anything where it's updated. I was hearing that he's in stable condition. I was hearing that he's basically going to be okay through this. But let us know if you feel like or if you've seen something showing anything otherwise, man. Tory Lanez gets stabbed during this sentence. As y'all know, he was the one that got into it with Megan Thee Stallion, and allegedly she got shot in the feet. We don't know, but he was convicted and is serving a 10-year sentence. Listen, man. Hey, guys, let us know what you think. Boss Talk 101 review.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.